You were not the Jhakaas guy?
I was not. I owe money to my driver. All my people around me. किसी से 500 रुपए लिया, किसी 1000 रुपए. All my staff, I keep on taking money from them.
Did Manmohan Desai tell you that a person with a mustache can never be a hero?
Good, he had said that Jackie Shroff is a star and I am just an actor. Sridevi was magnificent. Her sexuality, her oomph, her innocence.
A movie like Andaz or Mr. Azad, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
These are films that you did purely for the signing amount.
Yeah, no, I didn't sign him. I took the whole
thing. Advance mein. You said no to Chandni.
I just didn't want to sit on a wheelchair, yaar. Without social media, I was a lump bastard. कि hero नहीं बन सकता, star नहीं बन सकता, पकाता है.
Say Mr. India is a perfect 10. But would you critique it? Would you find something in it which you think is missing?
Hi, this is Anil Kapoor. Please do watch my interview on Sit with Hitlist.
Action. Welcome to Sit with Hitlist. It's our incredible podcast series where we feature some of the top people from Bollywood, from India's pop culture. With us is a gentleman who cannot fit in this room because we do this in a pretty cozy atmosphere. But the energy of this man is very hard to contain in a room of this size. We were hoping for a stadium, but there was a back and forth. You were busy, and somehow we couldn't make the stadium. But I hope this will do.
This is lovely. Matter of fact, as soon as I entered, I just got a good vibe. Yeah, I just got a very positive vibe. Looking at everybody, looking at all these beautiful faces over here, the beautiful smiles, and everybody behind the camera, all of them standing here. She's sitting here. You coming inside. No. Obviously I came out of these, so I just.
But that's really the positivity that you seem to exude, at least in your public image. Wherever we see you, you're from Juhu. Have you ever tried cooking? Yeah.
No, yeah.
No? Never done drugs?
I have
higher life?
No, I've had hash. Hash. Ganja bolte hain, main charas bolte hain.
Charas, just hash.
Yeah, when I was I think when I was in college, finished school, and once I had hash. I've had hash a few times, and I have had grass also a few times. That's it.
But those are downers. Your high is
kind of high. To be honest with you, I mean, because they were downers, I didn't like it because it was a downer. Like feeling low and sleepy, and I used to feel sleepy. I said, why should I have anything which is a downer?
Right.
I don't need this.
Were you much of a drinker?
No.
Never.
I've had beers and drinks, one or two drinks, whatever. I've never done anything excessively.
What I'm trying to get at, Anil, is what is it that you have within you, driving you, that at any point in time when we see you, you're like alive. You are there. What is it? Like you wake up in the morning, you tell yourself something, does it come naturally to you?
I don't know. Actually, that's the way I am. I think just this profession, this going in front of the camera, meeting people, this business, this show business, this entertainment business, interacting with media, meeting them, meeting different people, doing different characters, roles, all those things. Everything surrounded it just makes me feel positive, gives me energy. It's exciting, it's pulsating, it's edgy, it's it's nothing is, you're not sure what's going to happen. That you're insecure, you don't know if it's right or wrong. You do your best, and then people still feel no, it's not the best. Then sometimes you don't do your best, and people say it's your best.
Right.
So all these things make you exciting. Then you read people, you observe people, and what he's talking, what she's talking, the questions they ask you, the films, the directors, the writers, the actors, the actresses, the co-stars, the producers, everybody connected in this business. I just enjoy them.
Right.
I meet them. I learn from them. I listen to them. So I think it's I'm so happy that I don't do a 9-to-5 desk job.
Which you've never done anyway.
No, I've never done it.
Never.
Never. Matter of fact, I can sit down, but I can sit down not for long hours. I can sit down for half an hour, 1 hour. I have to either be standing, walking, running, or
or sleeping. So that I am fresh again, so that I have that.
Do you finished about 40 years in show business?
I think so. I think so. I did call up, my producer and director, Umesh Mehra, FC Mehra's son. I said, when did we exactly start the film? So it released in 79, but I think I started 2 years earlier. So I think it was 1977.
Right.
So if I've started my acting career in 77, so if you calculate, I think it's 40 years?
Plus.
40 plus, yeah.
Yeah. And this would be which film?
This was Hamare Tumhare.
Right.
So I don't know exactly what date it started, because he is also trying to find out which date did I start. It was Sanjeev Kumar, Raki, there was 10, 12 children, so I was one of the kids in that film. After that I did...
Was that the one where you were the young Shashi Kapoor?
No, that was
even before that.
No, that was in 1973.
Wow.
Yeah, that was in 1973, that was 1970. I was in school, I think. I was in school and I was in 7th standard. Yeah, that was the first time I faced camera, yes. But I was a child star.
Sure.
Child actor.
And you actually
But this was, I had done my acting course and I had done Hamare Tumhare. I did Hamare Tumhare, I did Satyu's film, Kahan Kahan Se Guzar Gaya. I did Ek Baar Kaho with Naveen Nishal.
You did a Telugu film?
I did a Telugu film.
That was your first film?
Yeah, I did a Telugu film, Vamsa Raksham. I did a Kannada film. Mani Ratnam's
yes.
Film, yeah.
So Mani Ratnam's first film was with you. Yes. A lot of people probably don't know that.
Yeah, it was
Pallavi
Pallavi and Pallavi.
Right, right.
His first film, yeah. Balu Mahendra was a cameraman and Ilaiyaraaja's music was there. And the film, people still remember the film. It was a good film. And the music had become very popular of Ilaiyaraaja.
And all this is before Wo Saat Din?
Yeah, Wo Saat Din happened in 1982.
Right.
I started working on Wo Saat Din. I had this story. My brother was in Chennai and we had done Hum Panch. So I was in production in Hum Panch because I was not getting any work in Mumbai as an actor. So I did bit roles for 3-4 years and I said, I can't keep on doing bit roles here. I'm not cut out. I think I'm cut out for bigger things. So I said, now let me start doing production. Help my brother, and both of us got together and both of us decided to help our father. So me and Bonnie did our first film together as taking over Dad's work in Hum Panch. Yeah,
he was producing the film?
We both were, there together, yes. Yeah.
Right, right.
So he was doing, as being the eldest, so he was doing the finance part. And I was doing the groundwork of picking up Shabana, Sanjeev Kumar, Miru Chakrabarti, Nasuddin Shah from the airport, dropping them, waking them up, giving them tea, coffee, chai, going and buying property, furniture, nails, taking permissions, all these kind of things.
You were the odd boy.
Odd boy, yeah.
Doing the odd
getting
jobs.
nashta.
Right.
Getting good nashta for everybody. So I was doing the odd jobs, and then of course Bapu Saab was there. So he was a director, and then when Raj Babbar and Nasir and all would be sitting for the shot, so he would ask me to stand. So I said, Anil, you come and stand here for Raj, and Raj will fall like this. So I would fall and show him how good I do the shot. So he was observing me, and that's the time Bapu Saab offered me the Telugu film.
Right.
Watching me. How with my, he felt there is something in me in production, and he offered me the Telugu film. That's why I did my first Telugu film. And he directed my first film, Wo Saat Din, with the script written by K. Bhagyaraj.
Right. So that's the thing that I find interesting about you as an actor. Of course, there was Raj Kapoor, and he had this image of the tramp, right? In your case, your defining image is the Tapori. Like you are that mass hero that very few people had seen in the 80s, in that connect that you had with everyone across. But what you really wanted to do when you started out was be the actor, as it were, that you were looking to. That's how you did a film with MS Satyu. You were talking to Mrinal Sen. You're having a word with Shyam Benegal. Yes. That's the actor that you wanted to be. And then there was this other massy mainstream superstar that you also became.
You see that. That I think that was just a blessing with God. I just want to be an actor. There's an actor in me, which and my characters became very popular, and they saw something in me, like for example, Javed Saab, when he saw bits and pieces, or Shabana saw bits and pieces of my work, and Subhash ji saw bits and pieces of my work, and Bapu Saab, they saw something which they felt is, yes, there is an actor, but there is something more extra in that. And they saw it. I didn't know about it, to be honest with you. I just didn't know about it. And it just kept on working.
But did you have a mental image of the kind of actor that you wanted to
No, I
be?
just wanted to face the camera.
That's it? That was
I
good
just
enough
wanted
for
to
you?
do work. I just want to work. I just wanted to work. Honestly. I never had, I just was inspired by a lot of actors. I was inspired by Marlon Brando. I was inspired by all these great actors. I used to love all Nasir's films. I used to like all Raj Kapoor films. I used to like Dilip Kumar's films. I liked quite a lot of Kamal Haasan films, like, which Balu Mandra had directed. His old films.
Right.
So I used to see them, and I used to appreciate the kind of work they're doing. And these are the films. And I like Garam Hawa a lot, Satyu's.
Right.
So I said I have to work with this director who's made such a fantastic film, Garam Hawa. So I pursued it. I used to keep on going to his house, Then I used to like all Shyam Benegal films, so I used to keep on going to his office, trying to meet him. Who else? Aparna Sen. I saw Chhattis Chaurangile and I loved it. I said, what a film, what a film. So I met her also, but I just, they go for the right casting. Satyu's film, he felt I was the right choice, so that's why he casted me. So
But that's something that's common in all your stories, your early stories, the incredible persistence. You could stand outside someone's office for hours. You would stand outside
Subhash Ghai's sets I've stood a lot. Subhash Ghai's sets.
Like just standing there, hoping that he will notice
just
you?
standing there. Like everybody's standing there. Behind that I would be standing.
Outside the gate or?
No, behind the camera, I would be standing. And I would say, yaar, abhi dekhega shayad. As soon as eyes meet me, I'll go and meet him. I used to stand, then I used to come, he was in Holiday Inn. So I used to be in the lobby. Then I said, lobby mein nahi yaar, ek kaam karta hu, main lift leke upar jata hu. So I will be in the corridor of the Holiday Inn. Then I won't have the guts to go inside the room. Then I've sat a lot at Rashtriya Productions a lot. Rashtriya Productions, Prabhadevi. So I couldn't meet the big Barjatias. So it was very tough to meet them. So I became very friendly to all the production guys. Mr. Gupta, Mr. Zaki. The Zaki Saab, suddenly Gupta and suddenly the Zaki Saab, one of the production guys, wants to make a film. So I said, why don't they cast me only? Before I can meet Tarachand Barjatia and Barjatia Saab and Raj Barjatia Saab. So the production guy was making a film called Prerna.
Okay.
Prerna. So ultimately the film then I shot for a week, but the film got stuck. But I was the leading man of that film.
So you got work out of like somebody who's also like the production manager in the company, or do you want to be in Rashtriya film?
Yes.
Artist
Then I
also?
did a film called Rachna also,
Right.
which nobody has seen. Was produced by one fine character actress called Parveen Paul. And I remember because I was trying to meet Subhash Ghai, so one of the assistants who was Usha Khanna's brother, Kuku Khanna. So Kuku Khanna said कि एक पिक्चर बन रही है यार, वो छोटी सी पिक्चर बना रहा है. मैंने छोटी बड़ी यार क्या काम करेगा? मैंने काम चाहिए यार. So उसके स्कूटर में David was one of the assistants. He was come from Pune Institute. So he had a small scooter, Vespa.
So you and David were friends from
He was editing. He was an editor. So he was Anil Dhawan's brother.
right.
So I knew everybody because he was Pune Institute. He was Dilip Dhawan's friend, and there was a group, Satish Shah. All these were a group of friends, and junior to Nasir and all. So sat down in his scooter and went to that to that lady's home, one room, small house, and they said, and then I signed the film, Rachna.
Right.
Yeah.
So at that point, you didn't really care in terms
These
of.
are the films, nobody's seen them.
That's
Nobody's
true,
seen the
that's
films,
true.
Yeah, nobody's seen those films, yeah.
Did they release though?
Yeah,
They did?
one of them released, yeah. One of them.
Rachna released?
Rachna released, yeah. For
Okay.
one day.
For one day.
One show, yeah, I think, yeah, for one day.
But you were sure, regardless of what happens, you will continue and you will get to.
No, because
some-
I didn't know anything else.
You had no life's plan B, basically. What
No.
if this doesn't work out? You could do something else in the movies.
No, I had, after 4-5 years, I did think about plan B, but in films.
Okay.
Like, I'll write scripts or anything. I'll do anything but to be in films, yeah.
Right. Because that's also something that you probably would know best through your father. Your dad was an AD on Mughal-e-Azam,
Yes.
right? He managed Geeta Dutt's work and also thereafter Shami Kapoor's work as well.
Yes.
So would you consider him as someone who was in the periphery of the films, or was it, or were you able to see it from the inside?
He was a very, very, very honest, decent, and a kind of an introvert. He was a good man, and so he was not one of the pushy ones, the aggressive ones,
Right.
or the filmy ones. He was a, gentleman. So I knew that, and he was very clear. I said, and he had very, very clearly told me, I cannot do anything for you. And I never expected him to do anything for me. So from the day I felt instinctively, I said, it's time for me to get out. Go to the battlefield and fight it on my own. So I did that.
And would the battlefield mean really sitting and hoping that someone notices? It can become quite tiring beyond a point,
No,
right?
it was exhausting, it was tiring, it was very frustrating. I looked my worst those days. I looked my worst, I felt worst. I used to go and sit down with friends and have rum and all those kind of things. So all those things I've done, yeah.
Like bitch out people, were you ever a bitter person?
I was.
Okay.
I was. There was bitterness in me, yes.
Have you channeled any of that in some of your
I think
works
I
or
channeled it
something?
in my work.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like a film like Awargi, for instance?
Yavargi, Mashal.
Right.
You see the anger in all those films, like Mashal and all those. I think it was that anger, the frustration and the bitterness. Awargi, yes, that is much later, but you'll see it in Mashal, yeah. Because those were my initial films. Tikana, where I play an alcoholic, which is inspired by the Paul Newman film Verdict. One of the few when even Mahesh Bhatt was trying to find himself.
Right.
So we both were trying to find ourselves, and especially Mahesh. So I did his first, those two films, which were, until he did Naam. But it was a pleasure and fun working with Mahesh in Awargi, and both were disasters.
Right.
Tikana and.
But much loved films though.
Yeah, critically
At the
acclaimed.
time when it came out, for
Awargi
sure.
was, I got huge critical acclaim for that film. But I never used to read those. I used to just move on to the next, yeah.
And at some point you became a happy person. You personify all that's happy about a person at any point in time.
I think it's my, life, and I feel blessed, and my children, my family, my wife, and everybody else.
And perhaps love for your job, right? I mean, there are very few
Yeah.
people one meets
Yeah.
who loves their job. You've not taken a break. Would that be correct to say?
Yeah, I haven't taken a break.
No sabbatical, no.
No. I did think about it once. I was shooting with Amit ji, and I was shooting for Armaan. So he had taken a break for 5 years. So I did speak to him, and obviously he said, "Please don't."
Right.
And I just started working.
Why were you thinking of taking a break?
You just feel, na, yeah.
बहुत हो गया?
Yeah. You feel, I don't know, you get अंदर से एक आवाज आती है that you need something, change your course or some transition or different kind of films. As you take whatever you do, but keep on working.
Right.
That's what was his advice. His advice was to me. Yeah.
Also because personally, for you as a person in show business, the phases that you've been through, Anil, have also been very distinct phases for how things have changed as a result. So 80s were very different from the 90s. 90s are very different from the 2000s in terms of content, in terms of the kind of films being made, in terms of also the quality of performance that one expects, the audience expects. So you have to constantly invent yourself. And how would you do that?
No, for me it was easier because you see, when I started my career, they used to tell me I'm an English actor.
Acha.
Yeah. And they used to say, thoda jor se bol, thoda loud bol, thoda underline kar, you know, underline it. Punch de usko, punch de. I said, what punch are you talking about here? I just being myself. I'm just being real.
Right.
I'm being the character. So the sound recorders would come, and if I'm the way I'm talking to you, I would speak like that. So this is, it doesn't work. So I said, okay, theek hai. So what do you want? So this is what I want. So I started pitching. So you're not speaking, and you're not making conversation. You're talking at them.
Right.
You know.
You're throwing your voice at them.
You throw your voice.
Right.
So I did that. So when I had to do films, which was real, natural, in the character. So it came. I became more comfortable.
Right.
Because that's the way I was. I had a problem doing that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Like initially or
initially? Yes.
Right.
Initially, I just couldn't do it.
Because it seems like it comes very naturally to you.
Yeah. I think it's because
Anil Kapoor.
Yeah. Obviously, I was working with good directors. I was lucky. The film became very successful, and with success, you get the confidence also. So, but I was not that comfortable. Being honest with you.
You were not the Jhakaas guy.
No, I was not.
You only became after Yudh.
The youth at that time, Jhakaas didn't become that popular.
Okay.
It was, a film was not that, just an average success. So Jhakaas, they said, okay, you're the best thing about the film. That character is the best thing. I wish they had more of that character. That was the most, but it was that the character was hardly there in the film. The film was more on Jackie. I was hardly there in the film, but that Jhakaas stood out. That character stood out. It was hardly there. So I see बातचीत हुई थी, but I didn't really take I didn't take it seriously. I didn't want to take it seriously and cash on that.
Right.
I moved on. I was more interested in doing work with Mahesh Bhatt. I was more interested in doing Ishwar with K. Vishwanath.
Right.
I was more interested in doing with Bapu Sahab. So that's the way I was. Yeah.
So would you say that particular image of yours is more a Subhash Kai image, like a Ram Lakhan, 1 2 ka 4, 4 2 ka 1? Like those were the biggest films of that decade in Netflix.
No, I did Tezab.
That's right.
Yeah. Before that, yeah, Tezab. Yeah, Tezab. I could, to be honest with you, it had a mixture of being little real as well as. So I was, I think Tezab was before Ram Lakhan. And then of course there was I had done Mashal also.
Right.
And Javed Saab had, there is a certain he has that real and the star quality when he's writing. It's a combination. If you see Salim Javed scripts and Javed Saab scripts, so the foundation was there in Mashal. The foundation.
Meri Jung.
Meri Jung. Meri Jung was later, but Mashal laid the foundation.
Right.
There were certain scenes which had that,
Did Javed Akhtar see an angry young man in you?
I don't know.
Given that Amitabh Bachchan phase is over. But he did recommend you for Meri Jung, didn't he?
Yes, he did recommend me. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and Mashal also.
But you, in that case, you've also been someone kind of lucky in the sense of the number of people who recommended you. If I'm not mistaken, Shashi Kapoor also recommended you.
Yes,
very
Shashi
early in
Kapoor was the first mainstream actor to recommend me. He saw me in a play in St. Xavier's. I was doing a play written by Kader Saab, I think, and directed by Amitabh Bachchan called The Zoo Story. And we were doing the Hindi adaptation, and he was the chief guest, and I won the Best Actor trophy, and he was chief guest, so he gave me the Best Actor, Dilip Kumar trophy for playing the Best Actor in St. Xavier's at that time. So he recommended me everywhere. He spoke to my family, he spoke to Shabana, he spoke to NNCP. Whoever he would meet, he would talk about me. So he's the first one, yeah, in a way.
Did you guys work together in the sense of him being producer, perhaps? Did anything?
Yeah. My dad produced a film.
Okay.
Ek Shriman. He was a great guy. He was a gentleman to the core. Lovely human being.
Did you look up to him as an actor?
Of course, yeah. He was. I loved his Jab Jab Phool Khile. I loved his Hasina Maan Jaiye. I loved quite a lot of his films. Yeah, he was terrific in Diva.
Because he's another actor who straddled both the paths. Like he was a hardcore, massy commercial guy and extremely
Passionate about good cinema.
Yes,
Good cinema.
Yes,
And did some good. If you see his international work, so I've been seeing them now. I saw quite a portions of a lot of his films which he has done with the Merchant
Ivory, right?
Absolutely very real, very, very, very today. The pitching is perfect, charming, good looking, beautiful, lovely.
So when you don't pitch it very high, Anil, and especially
It's not a question of pitching. It's there are certain characters which are larger than life. There are people in real life also who speak like that.
Right.
So it depends on character to character.
Yeah.
There's nothing like low pitch or high pitch. It depends on what film, what the director wants. Even directors have their own rhythm. Own pace. Every director has his own pace of working.
Right.
But are there performances of yours or even films of yours that you wish people had seen more of? Because this is strong body of work, a huge one, where you would probably be even more biased towards stuff that did not become huge because you put in a great performance, the film was fantastic, but fewer people saw it.
I don't look at anything as a great performance.
No?
No, never. No. People have put, adjectives, sometimes friends, sometimes fans, sometimes critics. I don't know. I think acting is such an ocean. How can you give a great performance? There's so much. You're so much dependent on the script, the director, the role.
Okay, film then. A film that you think a lot more people should have watched, which, that featured you.
I don't know. Yeah,
You really do move on, don't you?
I move on. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I'm not that kind
Okay,
of.
so
I see. For me, it's bits and pieces of every film. Bits and pieces of every film. I feel, oh God, yeah, this. Even in a film which is directed by the most commercial director, or it's directed by Danny Boyle, or it is directed by Shaker, or it's directed by all the directors. I've been very fortunate to be directed by really fine directors. So if there are portions, I said, oh God, yeah, how brilliant is that scene? How brilliant is this portion of the film? But I never felt anything in any film till today which was
Perfect.
like a Godfather.
Right.
Where I till today when I see it, or I feel about Mughal-e-Azam. And actually these are in Hindi. I feel when I see that film and Godfather. These are the two films. So I don't think so. I'm still looking out for those films.
But when you watch your own work, and I don't mean just your own performance, but the film itself, like a lot of people would say Mr. India is a perfect 10. But would you critique it? Would you find something in it which you think is missing now when you look back? Or even when you watched it then?
Yeah, I feel the first half was much more humane, much more beautiful. Second half, there were certain portions which were a little forced, which because we were involved in the script, so we know we had to do it.
To make it massy, you mean?
Yeah. No, just to make it, not, you can say a little massy. Yeah. Make it a little massy, a little more for the larger audience. Yeah.
Right.
But the first half was very organic. Very, very organic. Very, very, the casting, the children, the scenes, everything was just pitch perfect.
Right.
Second half, I still feel there are portions which are.
So speaking of second half, the other one that did not do too well, but of course is loved more than most of your films, would be Lamhe, right? What do you think?
Even I feel about Ram Lakhan also. First half is absolutely brilliant. And even Lamhe, people love the second half more.
Well, it was a conclusion, right? People weren't sure whether one would accept, like the daughter.
No, I found when I saw it, to be honest with you, I found it slow.
Okay.
I just find it slow. I'm being very, today I can speak to you about it. I just felt slow है थोड़ा सा, could have been
energy नहीं है,
थोड़ा सा कम है.
Okay.
Second half still it was, there was energy in the first half. I found a little slow, unnecessarily slow. That must be one of the reasons. And people say climax ठीक नहीं था, ये नहीं था. But you make a film which is which holds you from beginning to end. It works. It's ahead of time. I just felt that was my feeling, to be honest with you. But Sridevi was magnificent in both the films, in Mr. India and you can call her perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can call her perfect in both these films. Yeah, especially Mr. India. She was just perfect in that. She was beyond perfect. If you really talk about performances, yes.
We're talking about her.
It's overall, it's performance, it's star, its presence, it's her sexuality, her oomph, her innocence, her everything was just pitch perfect. The Chaplin thing which she did, Charlie Chaplin. See that and you see Charlie Chaplin. It's like that. It just, and of course, Shekhar was there behind there to had the patience, and and we as producers. Now, chalo, dekha jayega.
Speaking of Sridevi, I mean, the tragedy earlier in the year, I mean, there was completely how did you guys deal with it? It was...
Well, it's I think one of the most unfortunate things. And I think every night me and my wife, we miss her, we talk about her. Yeah. It's not one night that we don't miss her. Yeah.
How do you explain her stardom? Because I mean, we've had several stars in the past and female stars too, but the kind of reaction that she generated from an audience, it was impossible to make sense of sometimes. That guys like Ram Gopal Verma made a whole movie. They still keep just talking about her. They write a whole book on her. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. You go online and you just see this whole community going berserk. Mm-hmm. What could you make of that kind of X factor, as it were?
I don't really look at it. Mm. I know her more as a person.
Right.
So I really never. These are the work which I'm talking about. Mm. Otherwise, for me, she was more as a person, as a human being, as a friend, and we had a certain connect. We didn't communicate as much as we should, but I never really, never thought about these things.
Introvert. She was an introvert, right? By and large.
No, she was great fun. She had a great sense of humor in real life also. She was very funny. Mm. Very funny, yeah. Yeah, in front of people, yeah, she was a bit introvert. But both of us had a friendly banter from the time we met.
And Lame would be perhaps your best film together in the sense of a mature film. Mr. India, of course, but there was so much more about the concept rather than relationship between the two leads, right? Would that be correct to say?
Yeah, even if you say Judai, if you see her in that film, she's exceptional in that film. I don't know if you've seen that film.
I have, yes.
Yeah. She's exceptional. It's a remake of a South Indian film, but she's absolutely phenomenal in that film. Exceptional. Yeah, Mr. India and Lame are obvious films, but even in Judai, the film which I did with her, she was exceptional. Yeah.
Going back to Lame, Anil, I think most people don't realize while the film did not do commercially well, what you can be credited for is actually creating what became later as the NRI market. This film did hugely well abroad among the diaspora Indians.
I think both 1942 and Lame. In both the films I signed simultaneously.
Okay.
Because I remember I had met with an accident and I was nursing my leg and I committed to both the films. Lame and 1942.
You were bedridden around this time?
Bedridden, yeah.
So 2.5 months or something?
So that's the time I was just thinking of...
Was that turning point in your life, Anil? That time when you felt...
Yes. It was a turning point.
In what sense?
Because I was running fast nowhere. Just wanted to be the big, I just wanted, the films were doing, one after I was doing those films and then I was doing these commercial films and doing films which I didn't want to do,
For the money maybe?
No, I was never handling money. I've never seen money.
It's always been Bonnie handling your money, or how does it work?
No, everybody else handles my money. I don't handle money till today. If you ask me, I don't know a rupee in my pocket. I've never.
You have to pay for this coffee, by the way. Just say.
I keep on asking. I owe money to my driver. I owe it to all my people around me, everybody, I owe the money. किसी से 500 रुपये लिया, किसी 1000 रुपये. I owe a lot of people. All my staff, I keep on taking money from them.
I hope you pay them though.
Yeah. So I forget about
Salary
it.
से काट लेना.
Yeah, I just tell them, I said, I tell my wife or my manager, and I said, उन लोग से पैसे लिए थे, दे देना. So I don't know anything about money.
Okay.
Trust me when I'm saying that. Till today, I have never ever, if I have gone for money, it's either for the family or for the production house.
Right.
Or for someone, some friend or someone, not for myself, ever.
You've spoken about how you've done a few films, and I'm presuming that would be money for the office or for the production company. You'd like say a movie like Andaz or Mr. Azad, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
These are films that you did purely for the signing amount.
Yes.
Would that be correct to say?
Yeah, no, I didn't sign him. I took the whole.
The whole thing. Advance, mein.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Past is past. Yeah. Why I did it? Why should I say that?
Right. So that turning point. Take us through that turning point when you were.
So I said, no, let me do films which I want to do. So this time simultaneously 1940 was offered, Lame was offered, and I said yes to them. And they were slightly at that time also. These kind of films were not being made.
Right.
YesG was wanting to do something after Chandni. The film was a success, so he was also very passionate.
Which you'd said no to. You'd said no to Chandni.
Chandni, I said no.
Right.
Yes.
Why is that?
I just didn't want to sit on a wheelchair. Yeah.
Actually, it's a bit hard to contain you in a wheelchair.
Wheelchair.
Yeah.
I said I can't sit on a wheelchair. Yeah. I was not in that. I was not in that frame of mind to sit on a wheelchair and perform. I just didn't want
That's
to.
it.
Yeah, that's it.
It did well though. The film did well.
Yeah, it did very
Much
well.
loved.
I was one of the first people to call it YesG.
Right.
I said, he couldn't believe it. I said, YesG, the film is a hit. Because I was so happy. I was so excited because I'd done 2 films with him and both the films had not done well. So I called him up. I said, picture is a hit. Kya baat kar raha hai bete? Maine haan, hit hai picture. Yeah.
So yeah, coming back to when you were bedridden.
So I did these films. Yeah.
Right. So then you became a little more conscious of the kind of scripts you would pick up?
No, I'm conscious, but obviously did start doing more films which I want to do. And of course, certain films which I had to do for my kitchen,
Right.
for the family, for the production. Yeah.
So do you have the distinction in your mind as a performer, this for the kitchen and this is for craft or creativity?
Yes.
You do?
Yeah.
So when you do a race 3, you know exactly why you're doing a race 3?
No, there are other reasons also.
Okay.
I have to like my role also.
Sure.
So, you can't say that, and who's the producer, who's the actor. So many things, yeah.
Right. Going back to what makes you special also, and I'm just looking at, while on my way here, I was looking at, one of them would be the fact that you're perhaps our only serious superstar, having started out as someone with a mustache. We've never had a movie star with a
No, there
mustache.
was Rajsa was there.
Yeah.
Clark Gable. I should look at Clark Gable and I said, yeah.
Look at your contemporaries around you, none of them have mustaches.
Yeah.
Senior and junior, both included.
Yeah. No, for me, I said Raj Kapoor was there, Charlie Chaplin was there.
And Anil Kapoor thereafter.
And of course, there was Shatrughan Sinha.
That's right.
Yeah, he had a mustache.
Well, villain became no later.
Yeah. So, but you have to.
Did Manmohan Desai tell you that a person with a mustache can never be a hero?
I read it in an interview.
Okay.
Yeah. And he did tell me that. He told me. I remember he called me up after seeing Ishwar. He said, I take my words back. I thought you'll never become a star. And you're just an actor. And he says, I want you to do one of my films. Because he had said, that Jackie Shroff is a star and I'm just an actor.
Acha.
Yeah.
You've had these things thrown at you very often, especially in the early years?
No, I was thrown, without social media, I was lambasted. कि हीरो नहीं बन सकता, स्टार नहीं बन सकता, वर्क्स टू हार्ड, बहुत घुसता है कैरेक्टर में, पकाता है, बाल कभी दाढ़ी उगा लेता है, कभी मूंछी उगा लेता है, why can't he be just the same? Why does he keep on doing different roles and keep on making his image, doing films which have become so successful and then doing something which is so radical and so risky. A lot of things have been thrown at me. Yeah. But I've just done what I felt instinctively is right. And looking at the marathon, looking at the longer run, not looking at the shorter span. If you see my interviews 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, I always talk about the marathon. I never went for the, I did go for the 100-meter dash for a few years. I just wanted to see how it is.
Which was that in the 80s?
Yeah, I said, Jeetna hai, number one, let me become the fastest. And I didn't enjoy it. And I came back to the marathon.
And the marathon?
I just felt it's not worth it. I said, marathon is better, yeah. This 100-meter dash it's too tiring, too exhausting, and I'll burn myself out. So let me go for the marathon.
And that would be a reason why you would say do something like 24. It's a very marathon thing to do, because now, of course, we see SF doing Sacred Games.
Yes, it was a marathon. Yes, it was a marathon. It gives me away from being in cinemas, and gives me a role.
Right.
It gives me satisfaction also, because I'm not just a host or just a judge or something like that, which is, I think, creatively not that no fun. So this was giving me creative satisfaction also, and great role, good story, and for the longer run, yeah.
Did you see LA also as a longer run thing to do?
100%.
Yeah.
Longer run, legacy, learning, education, meeting different people, different directors, executives, learning from them, learning the production blueprint, business. So it was a combination of everything. Yeah.
How serious were you about actually like pursuing that as a completely alternate space to be in?
I loved every moment of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was reliving my struggling days.
Acha.
I would go audition. I've done a few auditions.
You did, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. I've done for David O. Russell. I've done with Shasa Baron. I did
really?
1 or 2 scenes with him. Yeah. Done for fun. And whenever I do audition, I don't get the film. So whatever films I've got without audition.
Right.
Yeah.
But obviously you don't have to audition here.
No, because we are not cut out to do auditions here. Audition is also an art. You have to work towards it.
Like when you were starting out, your auditions would be where a producer could just ask you to act.
Yeah, our audition we used to take a plastic bag from some nice, classy department stores, and take some pictures in the bag and go to office show our pictures. There was no video and all, so we used to show our pictures.
Right.
And they used to
Big size photos.
Yeah, big, small.
Right.
And they used to ask us to stand. Height क्या है? मेरा height ये है. So क्या कर सकता है? Dance कर सकता है? हाँ, थोड़ा बहुत कर सकता है. झूठ बोलने का सब. जो बोले हाँ कर सकता है. ये कर सकता है, वो कर सकता है. Yes, सब कर सकता है. That kind of stuff.
Would they ask you to act though? कुछ एक scene करके दिखाओ?
Yes. Rashri man, they used to ask you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
In the office, just standing there?
They're standing there. I've done it.
Subscribe to Midday India. Get direct notifications on all our videos by clicking on the bell icon.